Every candidate out there is going to come to the hiring table asking for a pay rise. Facts. They've had a run for 4 or 5 years asking for pay rises all the time. But, the power has shifted to the client.
Hi IC channel, hello again. It's Friday, that can mean one thing. It's Q&A time. So Mark, we want to follow up this session, or last week's session shall I say, talking about salaries. Right. So we've had some rebuttals, we've had some feedback on it, so it's a good time to talk about it. So, feedback we've had from one of our hiring managers is that you made a suggestion last week that salaries are going to drop by 3 to 5% because of COVID, post-COVID.
Not a suggestion, that's going to happen. That is happening right now.
His feedback to that is he's actively interviewed at the moment, and every single candidate he's speaking to is looking for a pay rise. Why don't the candidates he's speaking to reflect what we're saying about the market?
Look, this has got to be taken on an individual basis. Every candidate out there is going to come to the hiring table asking for a pay rise. Facts. They've had a run for 4 or 5 years asking for pay rises all the time. But, the power has shifted to the client. And that's a fact, because there's more talent coming on the market, there's more people coming on the market, there's more choice for the companies. And let's be honest, they've offered flexible working. They've given the one benefit they always wanted. Every candidate wanted flexible working, and they've got it. They've got it now. So the company's now thinking, do you know what, I don't want to have flexible working, the best benefits package, and this fantastic pay rises going up all the time. They're being a bit more cautious because everyone's being more cautious in or during COVID. So salaries are not rising this year in 2020. They're actually slightly dipping. So, of course, talent can name its price sometimes, maybe all the time, but there's still candidates out there who've got to be realistic about what salary they can attract. So if you're unemployed or you're a candidate that's been on furlough and you're getting the same package, you're doing well.
So let's give a live example, because last week, or the week before, we also spoke about the sales salaries and how commission structure works, i.e. people should be making a third of what they're billing. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the company, but yeah, that's fair to say.
So we spoke to a candidate today who's on a 35k basic and actually wants to move. He hasn't missed a target and he wants a 40k basic. Is he out of line right now asking back on a salary?
Again, I'm going to have to say, without ducking the question, I'm going to have to say it's an individual basis. You know, a normal situation, yes, he can get a pay rise, but I'll say it again, the power has shifted to the client, and it might not last very long. It might only last till January. But the clients know this. They know that the market is flooded with candidates at the moment. They know that people are pulling out the UK. They know that companies are showing. They know that companies are cash strapped, or some companies are. Even though IT has done well in the pandemic, and it's almost distasteful to say that, there's lots of companies out there knowing that they can get talent, and they can get talent at maybe the same price that they might not have got before. Now, if you're a candidate, that's probably not great to hear. You've had 5 or 6, 7 years of having pay rises every year and the market going up. This year, it's not happening. You've only got 4 months of this year. If you need to get a job now, my suggestion is you may get the 40k, but if you're not considering at least the same, you're going to miss out on opportunities, because there's companies out there thinking, do I want to pay over the odds for talent that's been furloughed and made redundant, regardless how good it is, and put that extra cost on my OPEX? And they don't, because they're cautious themselves. So again, I'm not ducking the question. It's an individual basis, but believe me, there'll be candidates out there that will have to take a 3 or 5 or 10% pay cut to get back into the market, and there'll be candidates out there that if they want to move, and even if they're in jobs, they want to move to a better technology, they will have to take the same money.
So I think it's a fair comment for the people that may be put on or made redundant or are actively for jobs. I think it's very realistic they're going to have to look at a cut now, isn't it? Because there's not many jobs out there compared to what there was before. It's a more client-driven market.
Definitely client-driven. They've got the power.
However, if you're in work, doing well and hitting targets, but you still want to look for a job, it's tough to say to these people, look, move over for the same salaries, or take that risk of maybe having to be put on furlough again, because that furlough scheme isn't available to those people moving now. So taking that move, you want to be incentivised, and money's always the best way to do it.
Yeah,
sales.
But Mark, let's be really candid. It isn't just about money now. You've got to look at this company and think, in 2021, am I going to be able to earn the same money? Am I going to be able to smash my target? Is the market going to be there? For example, would I want to sell hardware to the retail market? No. Would I want to sell hardware or AV into The aerospace industry, absolutely not. I'd much rather take the same money and switch over to selling UC to either 8x8 or Cisco WebEx or Ring Central or whatever other technology that I can look. There's the longevity of next year of that technology being in demand. So believe me, just because you've had a good year selling XYZ for your company this year doesn't mean it's going to happen next year. So you look at the company, the overall opportunity for the earning power post-COVID in the new world. Because to me, I'd want to be selling something that's future-proof now, not selling hardware into British Airways.
Fair enough. So advice to the candidates, look at the technology, look at the markets they focus and sell into, look at the future and the plans of that business, and make an assessment from there rather than just looking at money.
Yeah, but money should be the last thing you're looking at. You should be looking at the fundamentals of the company, the business, the technology that's sold, the demand for the technology that you've got. If the demand isn't doing there, doesn't matter what OT you've got, if the demand isn't there next year, you're going to be earning zero commission, let alone hitting your OTE.